The Trojan War is a story mostly handed down to us by ancient Greek writer Homer in the Iliad, with the aftermath described in the Odyssey. The message delivered is clear to men. Failure to heed the natures of men and women will lead to destruction. Certainly there is entertainment, military strategy, and cultural values, but perhaps the main message has been hidden behind the hype. This is the story of female nature, described in Helen and Andromache. In my outline, the Battle of Troy is about 3 brothers, 3 men, and 2 women. The characters are the 3 brothers Paris, Hector, and Deiphobus of Troy. Hector is the king of Troy, his brothers Paris and Deiphobus. 3 friends, the king of Sparta, Menelaus, Agamemnon, and Neoptolemus. And 2 women, Helen and Andromache. Half a millennium before the rise of Sparta, of the great military power, there was Helen of Troy, otherwise known as Helen of Sparta, as she was married to Spartan king Menelaus. Her marriage was a result of, first, an abduction by the gods, second, a competition amongst men, and third, an oath to provide military assistance to the victor of the competition. Thus we have an ancient game, alpha men playing pickup artist, guided by misplaced desire. The characters in this ancient game were Menelaus, Odysseus, Menestheus, Ajax the Great, Patroclus, and Idomeneus. And spoiler, the competition was that they drew straws. Meanwhile, there was an influence that humans cannot control. The ancient Greeks spoke of this influence as of the gods. Today we speak of the natures of men and women. There were 2 main ones leading to the Trojan War. Helen was the daughter of Zeus, and as semi-mortal was created the most beautiful woman in the world. Her life, an abduction, a plaything of the gods. Eris, goddess of discord, introduced the golden apple of discord, inscribed with the words "for the fairest," provoking a squabble amongst goddesses Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Zeus, asked to choose who was the fairest, chose Paris to decide, and Paris chose Aphrodite, who then promised Paris the most beautiful woman in the world. The apple of discord from the gods set the course for men and revealed the self-entitled vanity of female nature. Admittedly, the ancient Greeks did not delve deeply into the nature of men's biological desire or of women's hypergamy, but Paris disobeyed his brother, King Hector of Troy, and spirited a willing Helen away from her husband Menelaus. We see 2 things clearly. Paris was unable to control his blue pill alpha male biological drives, and Helen was unable to accept the responsibility of her beauty and hypergamated for a greater basket of aggregated resources, the looks, wealth, and drama of running away with Paris. Their joint action and individual weaknesses led to the Trojan War and to the deaths and disposability of men, at least as far as the story goes. We now turn to after the war, after the death and mayhem, disposability of men, and the fall of the city of Troy. While there certainly was honor, valor, bravery, military brilliance, what was the value for the price of maimed and dead men and a destroyed city? Wife of Hector, the king of Troy, Andromache, which means andro, man, mache, battle, the battle of men. Andromache appears prominent at the end of the story of the Trojan War. Her husband Hector was killed by Achilles, and her son was killed by Neoptolemus. As the spoils of war, Andromache married Neoptolemus and bore him 3 sons. Hypergamy in its rawest sense. Your friend kills my husband. You kill my son. I marry you. This is the ultimate red pill knowledge. And now we turn to an interlude. Here we have a social narrative redux, the painting by Jean-Jacques David in 1783 of Andromache mourning Hector. We see in the picture, yes, a mourning of Andromache with her son. But what did Homer say in the Iliad about this situation? What is Jean-Jacques David not telling us? Well, I will quote from the Iliad, chapter 24. Andromache says, "Husband, you have died young, and leave me in your house a widow. He of whom we are the ill-starred parents is still a mere child, and I fear he may not reach manhood. Ere he can do so our city will be razed and overthrown, for you who watched over it are no more. You who were its savior, the guardian of our wives and children. Our women will be carried away, captives to the ships, and I among them." Here she tells us that she knows she will be hypergamous. Either be hypergamous or die. Stand by your man and die. This painting depicts the mourning, promoting the ideology of romantic love. But the truth from the Iliad is a far different truth. Mourning, yes, but in the full knowledge of a new man in the future. Dreams of drama in the same sentence as mourning. Imagine this from a man. My wife has been murdered, and I am thinking about my new wife. This knowledge is the battle of men to control. The end for Helen is a hasty marriage with beta male Deiphobus, younger brother of Hector in Paris. After Helen hides Deiphobus' sword, Deiphobus is killed, leading to the label Helen the Treacherous, a warning to beta males if ever there was one. The fate of Helen is related in several different ways. One, she is stoned to death for treachery. Another, she is killed by, husband Menelaus. 3, she is forgiven by Menelaus after revealing her beautiful breast, turning Menelaus into a beta cuck. Or 4, she runs away and then is killed by minor gods, the Furies. In conclusion, the epic of the Trojan War details elements that we see causing men and women suffering today. Men victims to their biology and social narratives, women with unfettered hypergamy and gynocentrism, together leading to disposability of men and unhappy suffering of women. This epic tale, I believe, does not end with the figure of Andromache for no reason. This is the primary battle that all men must face. Men are driven by forces beyond themselves to seek women, and these women have been given power over men by forces beyond themselves. This battle line is known and has been known for millennia. The battle of men is to prevent men from acting on their primal drives against good sense, and to impress upon women the irresponsible use of their power and the results of that. In the 20th century, there has been a concerted effort by feminist ideology to hide the nature of women from both women and men in order to push an agenda that has led to massive destruction and dislocation in the West. A degeneration that is clearly visible in statistics, but hidden under a false and dominant social narrative. If the current war on men and boys is a loose analog to the Trojan War, with divorce courts selecting the maimed and dead men, then the toll of men in the West, the imprisonment, the alimony slavery, already greatly outstrips the total death and destruction of men in the Trojan War. I will end with a question. What character do you wish to play? Paris, Alpha, PUA, dead. Hector, trying to help his brother Paris, dead. Diphobu, beta male victim of treachery, dead. Menelaus, shamed and bereft of wealth. Agamemnon, pointless investment of 10 years of his life. Neoptolemus sleeps with a woman whose husband killed his friend. Helen, gifted of beauty, irresponsible. Andromache married the man who killed her son.